again. I just wanted to go through all of the art classroom rules and procedures so you know exactly what my expectations are for the year. All of my rules are listed on the cabinets right underneath where it says create on the wall, so let's go through those as quickly as possible. I know you've heard rules 1,000 times today, so I thought I would include some funny pictures of cats to make this a little bit less boring. You are welcome. So, rule number 1, when anyone is speaking to the class, you are silent and listening. This obviously means that you should be raising your hand just like you have been since kindergarten, but it also means that you should have your eyes on the speaker, your hands should be empty and still, and your voice should be off. So when I'm trying to get the whole class's attention, I give you a signal where I say, I need your attention in 3, 2, 1, or a longer countdown if it's necessary. And I'll say, hands free, eyes on me. And you have to do this lame thing where you actually hold up your hands, show me that they're empty, because sometimes I know it's hard to stop working when you're in the middle of an art project, but I want you to hold up your hands when I say hands free, eyes on me. And sometimes I'll say voices off, because you should also be completely silent. Rule number 2 is to be respectful, and that means to every single person in our class at all times. This means that you should be kind and courteous to all of your peers. You should only be making positive comments about other people's artwork, and you should only be making positive comments about your own artwork as well. This rule also pertains to using bad language in this class, so
watch your profanity.
Rule number 3 is to always be responsible. In this class, we will be working with tools that are either dangerous or expensive, and sometimes both. So if you are not behaving responsibly, you may lose your privileges to work with these tools. Rule number 4 is to always be prepared. When you're first walking down the hallway, please take your binders and you're going to place them inside of the lockers. You can choose any of these. They don't lock, so you may not want to leave your phone in there. You can fit multiple binders in each section, but binders and papers are not allowed in the art classroom. You can be outside in the hallways during passing periods talking to your friends, having fun, but as soon as you enter the art classroom, you are instantly in business mode, which means you walk in silently and follow the procedures. The first thing that you need to do when you enter the class is walk directly over to the phone pockets. You will put your phone in the pocket that is associated with the number at your assigned seat. So you will then find that number and your phone will go in that pocket immediately before the class starts. If you are still doing this process when the bell rings, you may be marked tardy if you are not in your seat. Once your phone has been placed in the pocket, you will go directly to your assigned seat, sit there, get out your warm-up packet, and you're going to start responding to the warm-up. It's a bell ringer that's going to be on the board every single day, and I expect you to come in, sit down, and do that silently. So if you are sitting there and talking, you are not following the class rules. You should know that if you are not in the classroom, in your assigned seat, and silently working on the bell ringer when the bell rings, then you will be marked tardy in this class. The 5th rule is don't cause distractions. There are only 3 reasons why you should be out of your seat in this class. The first is when you're entering the classroom, the second is when you're leaving the classroom, and the third reason is when I give you specific permission that you are allowed to go and collect your supplies and return to your seats immediately. The majority of supplies that you will need in this class can be found underneath your table. First, we've got the general supply bins. They look like this, and they have most of the things that you would need for this class inside of the bin. So if you are looking for rulers, scissors, glue sticks, a compass, then you'll find those things right at your table, so you have no reason to be getting up and out of your seat. The tools for all of the students in ceramics classes are also in the table lockers. So you'll see all of the supplies you need are here, and the tablecloth made of canvas also belongs in this locker right at your table. You may be wondering how you should sharpen your pencils in this class. Most of the time when we are working with supplies, they'll come in a set that contains a pencil sharpener, so you do not need to get up out of your seat. However, if there is an occasion where we are not working with one of these sets and you need to sharpen your pencils, you can come over to this spot where we've got the rainbow drawers just right next to the window, and you can sharpen your pencil here. You can also sharpen your pencil right over here next to the computers. However, please make sure that you are only sharpening your pencil during work time. Do not sharpen your pencil during instruction time. A great time for you to do this would be when I have you collecting all of the supplies for the day. This is a very calm and quiet environment, so if you are making really loud noises or anything that would distract your peers, you will receive consequences for that. And now for the news you've all been waiting for. I allow phones in my classroom. However, we had some issues last year, so I made some compromises for this year. As soon as you walk into this classroom, your phone needs to be placed into your assigned pocket. There are two reasons why I allow phones in this classroom. The first is so that you can listen to your own music with your headphones while you're working on art. And the second is to look up reference photos that would be helpful for you while you're working on your artwork. When you use your phone in this classroom, it has to be flat on the table, not in your lap, and you're only allowed to use one earbud. Last year, phones caused a lot more distractions than they did benefits, so my compromise for this year is that I will allow you to use your phones for music and reference photos for the last day that you have me of that week, so either Thursday or Friday. We'll call it Phone Fridays! If you are caught using your phone in my class for anything other than listening to music or looking at a reference photo for your artwork, then I will have you fill out a phone misuse sheet. So the first time I catch you texting, looking at something that's not related to your artwork, looking at social media, playing a game, etc., you'll lose your phone for the day and you can pick it up from me at the end of the school. You'll be filling out this sheet to explain what happened. The second time that happens, you'll lose your phone and you can collect it at the office at the end of school. After the second offense, you are no longer allowed to have your phone in my classroom at all, period. I will also be emailing your parents to let them know what happened. Rule number 7, no eating, drinking, or chewing gum in this classroom. I've seen too many beautiful pieces of student artwork destroyed because people were careless with their food or drinks in this classroom, so it is no longer allowed. Rule number 8, do your part to keep this room clean. Cleanup is a super important part of this class because you are all in here making giant messes, which is awesome and fun, but we need to make sure that we are also cleaning up those messes because that's in fact a part of the artistic process. So that is something that will be included in your grade that you have to complete before you're allowed to leave this room. If you are the first student to arrive at your table, you'll walk in quietly. You will come and collect all of the portfolios that are in your periods cubby. You'll open this up, grab the entire stack of all of the portfolios, and you will place it on top of the table right in the middle so everyone can find their portfolio easily. After I'm done giving instructions at the beginning of each class, I will tell you all of the materials that you're going to need for the rest of the class period. So double check that you know what your table number is. You will then walk back over to the supply organizer, which is this space right here. You will locate the materials that I specified, and then you will collect the box that goes along with the table number where you are sitting. Each table set has a specific amount of each supply that you would need for that unit, and there are exactly enough for every student at your table to have what they need. However, if you are missing something at any point, please come and ask me permission, let me know that you are missing something, and then you can come over to the restock area and find the supply that you are needing. We also have the rainbow drawers right over here where you can locate other supplies that you may need during a class. This is something that you need to do at the beginning of class when you are collecting your supplies, and that way you'll have everything that you need for the entire period. But again, this is restock and extra only. Please ask permission first before getting any of the supplies out of these drawers. If you happen to come into the classroom and see extra supplies out and you are not sure which bin it would go back to, that is when you can take it back over to the restock and extra section. You would locate the exact spot for where that tool belongs, and then you would return it so that when that table comes back and they realize they're missing a supply, they'll know exactly where to find it, and we're not overstocking any of the boxes by just putting it into a random box. If you go to sit at your table and there is a blank piece of paper that no one has used yet, please collect it and return it to the class set where it belongs. If it is a used piece of paper, so a student has been working on it, or if it's a portfolio and you're not quite sure where it belongs, or if you find any other supplies or materials that are left on your table that obviously belong to a student and you don't know where to put them, you can put them where it says lost and found, just right underneath the turn-in trays and graded trays. Please make sure that as you are cleaning the classroom that you leave the counters nice and empty. The sinks should be completely empty as well. There shouldn't be anything left on your tabletops. So those are the things that I'm going to be checking for. Each student will have a specific job that they are required to complete before they can leave the classroom. And if your table is left messy, I will not let you leave the class, and I will not be writing tardy slips. So please make sure that you're doing your absolute best to keep our classroom clean. Because the school won't let me get one of these. Rule number 9, work hard every day. I do allow quiet talking during work time only, but if I see that you are not making very much progress on your projects, then I will not allow you to continue talking. And last but not least, be creative. I spend way too much time on Pinterest and the internet, so if you are copying an image, chances are I'm going to recognize it. So please make sure your work is original. So now let's talk about what happens when you don't meet one of those 10 expectations. If you're struggling to meet any of my expectations, I will hand you a mistake sheet. It says, I want you to know that I see you as a fellow human, not just a discipline problem. I understand that you have struggles in your life just like adults, and I'm here to help you. However, it is important that you know what the expectations of my classroom are, and we work together to help you meet them. I am dedicated to finding solutions that work for both of us. Now let's figure this out. Please know that my goal is to make you feel heard and understood, but we do have to follow all of the rules in this classroom. So the first time that you have an issue in this class not meeting one of the expectations, we will have a private discussion about what the expectations are. I will write it down on one of the mistake sheets, and I'll write down what happened, and I will document what was going on with you and if there was a reason why you were breaking the rule. The second time that you do not meet one of my expectations, I'll give you the form that I had started for you the first time that we had a discussion. You will document exactly what happened on this sheet. You'll describe which rule you broke, what was going on with you, if there was a reason why you broke the rule, and a scale of how you're doing that day, because I know everyone has good days and bad days, and if that's part of what's going on, then I would really like to know about it so I know you're not just being a jerk. The next part you'll complete is how you can behave differently next time and what I can do to help you meet my expectations. So you'll complete that. The only difference for your third offense is that I will email home and I'll send them a scanned version of the sheet and explain what's going on in class, just to make sure your parents understand what's happening. For the fourth offense, or any offense thereafter, you will continue to document it on the mistake sheet. We'll have a discussion together after class. I'll email home a scanned version of the sheet, and you will complete one detention. And last but not least, I will write the student up on a referral slip and give it to the school administration. I try to be as fair and consistent as possible with all of my rules, procedures, and expectations for this class. And that that is all just so that you can come into this room and create stuff, which is the whole purpose of taking an art class. And I am really looking forward to helping you do that.